Welcome to the Medium in the Middle podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie, the medium in the middle. This podcast is going to walk you through my journey into mediumship and how I came to realize that I could communicate with souls that have passed over. My adventure started just over a year ago when unusual situations started happening to me. It wasn't until I really started to pay attention to them that it all started to come together. I wrote down everything that I was experiencing this past year in a little black book, and this podcast is going to be a recap of all of those memories leading up to where I am today in my mediumship journey. I will be releasing new episodes every Tuesday, and I recommend listening to the podcast in order, starting with episode 1, as my story will unfold more week by week. If you would like to stay connected with me, follow me on Instagram at mediuminthemiddle. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 46. My name is Stephanie. I am your host. I am the medium in the middle, and I'm very excited to have you here today. On today's episode, I'm going to be talking about my Mediumship Course experience. I have a lot to say about it, and I really wanted to share that with you. But before we begin, I did want to let you know that there are still a few spots available in my online Reiki Level 1 course for September 26th and 27th. So if you've been thinking about taking your Reiki Level 1, I am offering that online, and there's still some spots in the September 26th and 27th weekend. The first date did sell out, so if you're thinking about it, don't wait because there's not very many spots left. And if you did want to book a distance Reiki appointment with me or an Akashic record reading, I do have appointments available on my website, and you can book those at themediuminthemiddle.com. You can also book the Reiki course from my website as well, themediuminthemiddle.com. It'll also be linked in the show notes for you. So before I get into today's story, I did want to pull a card. I'm using my Colette Baron Reid Enchanted Map deck. I am going to be buying a new deck, guys. So there's a few that have caught my eye, but I live in a small town, so they're not the easiest to come by. But next time I can, I'm buying another deck. So I still love this deck, but I do want to try out a different one. And it's funny because I was at a friend's house a few days ago, and her sister wanted me to read her cards, so we just played a little bit. And then my friend was like, oh, you should read my cards. And I had the feeling that I read her cards too much. And I was like, okay. So as soon as we were done, she started shuffling the cards. And when we started to pull the cards, they were all just wrong. So the first one was really wrong. And I was like, oh, I don't think this is your card. She's like, yeah, I don't think so either. And then we pull another card, and it was wrong as well. And I didn't even finish reading it. I was like, nope, you're not meant to have your cards read today. She's like, nope, I don't think so either. And I don't know if it was because we did it back to back and the cards didn't get a chance to clear. I don't know if it was because the cards know that she didn't need anything right now. But it was super interesting how the cards were just like, we're not working today. So they worked and they were spot on for my friend's sister. But when I went to go do it on her right after, no. So as I'm shuffling the deck for us today, I'm really asking the cards for a card I haven't seen before. I feel like for as long as I've played with this deck, I get the same handful of cards. And even now as I'm shuffling, I'm kind of looking at the cards and realizing how many cards I haven't seen or how many don't come up. And I play with this deck quite a lot. I mean, I use it for friends. I pull a card every week for the podcast. So I am asking for a new card. I want to see something new. Tell us what we need to know. Okay, so as I was shuffling, this one literally jumped out at me. And it is card number 20, Flying. And I have never pulled this card, so let's see what it is. So the short description is you have the power to see things from a higher perspective. Yeah, we do. Okay, full card description. If you were a bird flying high in the air, what would you see? When you soar above life's challenges and opportunities, a new perspective becomes available. Today you have invisible wings that allow you to swiftly bring your circumstances into alignment with your highest purpose. This is a sign that your waiting is over, that all your hard work has paid off, and the things you hoped for are no longer beyond your scope. You have the ability to reach for the stars and find one with your name on it. Spread your wings and soar. The angels are waiting for you. I'm also going to read the card reversed just in case this makes sense for anyone, because I feel like both meanings are important for this one. When you see the flying card reversed, it is a gentle reminder that there are times to take flight and times to remain grounded, and for now you must avoid overreaching. There is still work to be done before you earn your wings. Be patient. What you seek will not be out of reach forever. Remember the story of Icarus in Greek mythology, whose wax-made wings and overconfidence brought him too close to the sun. He perished because he didn't realize his limitations. Humility is a great power, and now you must exercise it. Doing too much, too fast, too soon only serves to prevent a beautiful flight later on. Ooh, so I like this card in this card meeting. I definitely feel like there was something for everyone in that. That's why I read the reverse this week as well, because it held a lot of meaning that actually resonated with me. So I'm sure it was for someone else to hear as well. Okay, so in this week's episode, I really wanted to give the rundown about my 6-week course. I took a 6-week Mediumship Development course, and I want to talk you guys through why I signed up, why I took it, what I learned, what I thought about it, and kind of share my experience in taking a course on mediumship. Because although I've taken many courses in Reiki, courses in Akashic Records, I've done a ton of yoga courses, I'm kind of a course addict. I'm a CrossFit instructor. I'm a certified lash artist. I am a CrossFit weightlifting instructor. The amount of courses that I take and certifications that I have is actually kind of comical. I think it's funny because I just love learning things. Like I would forever be a student if money and time were unlimited. So when a mediumship course came up, I've seen many on the internet and I've never been drawn to them. But then someone that I know was putting one on, and I've talked to this person often and I like her content. So I was like, oh, like that's interesting. And I remember the spots were moving quickly. And I was really drawn to this course. The price was right. The length was right. What she talked about, I was interested in. It wasn't woo-woo-y. I felt like I could actually get something out of it. I felt like it would be worth my money. And I've been wanting to take a mediumship development course because, as I just said, I'll take a course in anything, but I won't take a course in mediumship. And I wanted to do something that would push me outside my comfort zone and force me to practice and force me to learn. So I decided to sign up. I saw she was only accepting a certain amount of students, and I saw the number going down every day. And I was always like, oh yeah, like I'll look into the course. And then there was like 3 spots left. So I like frantically messaged her being like, please save me a spot. Like I'll register as soon as I can. So I got a spot and I was like, phew, got the spot. And I put all the dates in my calendar. So it was actually a very like full on course. We met 3 times a week. There was 1 course, 1 circle, and 1 where we answered questions each one day. So I had to fill it out. I had to book time off work. I had to make sure my calendar was booked off so I didn't have any appointments booked at the same time. I had to get some of my yoga classes covered. Like I was really ready to be fully committed into this course, make sure that I was getting my money's worth, make sure that I was investing my time. And, I really wanted to try. I'm like, finally, I'm going to be doing a course. I might as well like put my energy into it and do it right, not half-ass it. So this is all fine and dandy. I'm pumped. I get my spot. I'm about it. I'm booked off. I did all the things I needed to do. It's the first week of the course. We have like a little class, a little lecture. I go to sit down with my notebook and I'm in front of my computer and I'm not about it. I'm not interested. I don't want to listen as she's talking. I'm like getting up and making a tea, making a snack. I'm on my phone. And I was like, Steph, pay attention. Like you're in this course. You paid for this. Pay attention. And the whole course, it was like 2.5 hours. I just could not stay focused. And I was like, why am I doing this? I'm self-sabotaging myself. I'm just scared. Like I don't want to learn. So I'm just being like I'm just doing this to myself, kind of checking in with me, being like, why are you doing this? Like, pay attention. Don't self-sabotage. You wanted this. Why are you not paying attention? And I instantly knew that it was because I was afraid of mediumship. It was because I'm scared. I didn't want to learn that. I'll learn about anything else. But if you have me learn about mediumship, I'm like, I don't want to. So each week we were paired with 2 partners and we had to do a practice mediumship session. And she gave us a bunch of different ways that we could do it. She said we could do it with a photo, we could just sit there, we could pre-tune in. And for the first few, everyone wanted to work with a photo. And I was like, okay, because I was scared and I just didn't want to do the practice sessions. So finally, we arranged my first 2 practice sessions and we did it with a photo. And I just didn't like it. A lot of the information that I get with mediumship is what the person looks like. So the photo felt like cheating. I was like, well, what am I really going to say if I already have what they look like in front of me? And I wasn't really trying, and I'd get like a few pieces of information and be like, that's good, bye. And it took me about 3 weeks into the course to start taking these practice sessions seriously. Like I just didn't want to do them. I was always super nervous. I never really tried too hard because I was scared I wouldn't get any information, like all the same things that you would think of. So for the group, we had a Facebook group. And on the Facebook group, I joined as medium in the middle, thinking that I'm a smart businesswoman. And then everybody knew about me and my podcast. So I was like, shoot, why did I do that? Now everybody thinks that I'm like a medium. That's good. And I'm still learning. And all I've ever known is for my messages to come through Reiki. I've never really sat down with someone and tried this many times. Like it's definitely happened, but I've never sat down with the intention that this is going to be a mediumship reading. And when we were practicing each week, that was the intention. So I was definitely very scared. And then there was this expectation from people that I put on myself fully, that they already knew who I was and they listened to the podcast. And so then I was even more nervous. So for the first few weeks, it was just like my energy was low. I wasn't invested. In the second course, it got a little bit better. I was definitely interested in what she was talking about and what we were learning about. It was very tangible. Like I definitely felt like I was learning something. She was telling me something I didn't already know. And I really liked the lectures, but I just couldn't pay attention to it. And I was like, Steph, like, why are you self-sabotaging yourself so much? So finally, I think it was around week 3 or week 4 of a 6-week course, I finally just like had to overcome the fear. So I had a coaching call with Danielle and I was like, I just can't get over the fear. I'm like holding myself back. I'm not trying. I'm not like invested in this. I'm just like avoiding it. I don't know why. Like I'll take a course in anything, but I don't know why I'm just not applying myself here. And she kind of really was like, you just need to do it. Like, you just need to practice. You need to do the damn thing. You need to let go of all the expectations you have around yourself. You need to just try. She's like, how can you like walk through fear if you never do it? So then after that, I was like pumped up and I was like, yeah, like I'm going to do this. So I started trying in my practice sessions and they started going really good. And it just like all started to go up. So I wanted to share this experience because, number one, I never thought I would take a course in mediumship. And then I found one that actually like called to me and I was really feeling like I needed to sign up. And then I went through the phases of like wanting to do it, not wanting to do it, being scared, having to push through fear, and then ended up practicing twice a week for 6 weeks. And then I ended up practicing with some of my own clients after that. And I've had like so much more success. I've seen actual like readings come together. I've worked on actual mediumship readings because I know that I need to separate that from Reiki. And I've been wanting to get my readings down pat, like how to pull in a spirit, how to get information from them, figure out how they passed, figure out who they are, get their name, get information about them, and then get a message. So it was very like I had structure to work with. So I wanted to share this experience with you guys because I feel like other people experience this too. Like when I was talking to people in the practice readings, Danielle said, you're going to learn the most in the practice readings. And it was so true because in the practice readings, I could connect with people where we're all going through the same thing. We all have the same fears. We all are like, oh, I don't really get it. Like, oh, I don't really get much. But we were so supportive of each other. No one was bringing anyone down. Like the group of women were incredible. And I learned so much from each of those meetings that I ended up really looking forward to them instead of dreading them and being afraid. I was like, okay, like what can this person teach me? What can we like teach each other? And that really was where I grew the most. And it forced me to practice. Like if the biggest thing I took away from this course outside of all the information we learned was forcing me to practice just mediumship readings, where I've been having a Medium in the Middle podcast for over a year. I've been on this journey for 2 years, but I've barely practiced. And newsflash, you don't get good at something unless you practice, like anything. Like rarely are your talents just sitting there ready to go, perfect condition. You don't even have to fine tune them. So I wanted to share this experience because I know other people are probably going through this. Even if it's not with mediumship, it can be with anything that you're looking to develop, any skill you're looking to develop. It's kind of like when it's put in our face, sometimes we don't want to focus on it, or we don't want to put our attention on it, because it's like if we try and then fail, then we're even more hurt. But if we don't try and fail, it's like, oh, well, I didn't really try. So that was definitely my fear at the beginning. And before the course even started, I was worried about it being like a waste of time, a waste of money, like all the things that you think of. But I really had to invest in myself. And Danielle said, like, you'll get out of this course what you put into it. And I was like, that's so true. Like, I can't just sit here and expect someone else to do my practice sessions and someone else to teach me how to get stronger communication with spirit. Like, that's not going to work. I have to do it if I want it. And I think for me, it was choosing that I wanted it, choosing that I want to learn mediumship, choosing that I want to get better, choosing that I want to learn how to do a session, because I've been so afraid of it for so long. And I think there's very much a fantasy about mediumship where like we're the people you see on TV, where we just walk around talking to dead people, delivering messages. But there's so much more behind the scenes. Like mentally, you have to be so ready to like deal with people who don't believe you, or who think you're crazy, or you think you're crazy, or not knowing if you're right, or not wanting to be wrong. Like so many fears that you have to overcome. And this course really supported me with a lot of that while teaching me how to do the thing better. And I really, really, really ended up loving it. And by like the last week of the course, I was like on the edge of my seat, like paying attention, participating, writing notes. Like I was in the group, writing on everybody's thing. Like I was so in it. And I was like, it took me this long to get in it, but like that was my learning in the course. Like that was the point of me taking it, was so that I could overcome these fears and so I could work through this. And if I didn't have a 6-week course pushing me to keep going, I would have just given up after week 1, right? Like I wouldn't have kept going. So if you're looking for a course on anything, like not even on mediumship, I would say like make sure you connect with the teacher, because it's not like in high school where you're just given a teacher who has to teach you science and you're like, oh, I hate this person, but like I have to learn science. Like that's not the case anymore. If you want to learn something, you can literally seek out the person that's teaching you. And that's what I loved about working with Danielle, is that she is so real and I can connect with her. She's not woo-woo. She gives it to you how it is, and she gives you a lot of facts. Like we talked about history. We talked about where mediumship came from. We talked about other people and their experience. So it wasn't just fluff. This isn't a sponsored post. Everyone probably knows what course I took, so I'm happy to say that I took it with Danielle, the Squamish Medium. I'm happy to give her raving reviews because I think she's wonderful. But whoever you choose to do any course with, I think that's kind of the joy of the internet now. That's the joy of being able to select who your teacher is, especially like for Reiki. That's definitely something I would say. Choose your teacher, because who do you want to learn from? Who can you listen to for 8 hours? Like, you know, if you don't like their voice, if you don't like how they explain things, if you don't like how they deliver information, then maybe they're not your teacher. So these are all the things that you want to consider before you book a course, or definitely for me, because I've taken a lot of online courses, especially over quarantine, and you kind of learn what works for you and what doesn't. And I knew that this course for me was going to be what pushed me out of my comfort zone. And I knew that I was going to push back and I wasn't going to want to do it because I'm afraid. And I know my fear is crippling. I will not do something because I'm scared. And if you ask me why, it's just like, well, what if I'm wrong? Like, who cares if you're wrong? You know what Danielle said? She said you're wrong 30% of the time. So that's great. Like, that's literally a number that I can work with. My logical brain can wrap around this. So I'm like, okay, that piece of information doesn't fit. Cool. Leave it. I'm going to keep going. Like, a no doesn't have to stop me. I can keep going. So I've talked about some of the practice sessions and other things that have happened on previous episodes, so I won't repeat those stories, but it was just really cool to see other people going through the same things I'm going through or same things I went through. It was cool to see people who were like more advanced than me and how their readings form. It was cool to see people's first time and what they're experiencing, and just to have people going through the same thing. Like definitely when I started this journey 2 years ago, I was thinking I'm the only one that does this. Like I'm the only person going through this. And then when you start to meet other people going through the same thing, it was just like, oh my God, I'm not alone. Like, I'm not crazy. I'm not the only person who's experiencing this. There's other people. So now I have this amazing community of women who are all experiencing the same thing, or they've gone through something very similar, so we can support each other. And having a support system or just someone to talk to is literally amazing. And it's priceless. Like, it's for sure priceless. Like, those people are now going to be people that I can communicate with over time, and we can share stories and we can help each other out. So I had an amazing experience, even though it was rocky at the start. And I definitely was like, I don't want to do this. Something was pushing me to do it and to sign up and to show up and to really try. I'm like, Steph, you can't just half-ass this. And for me, I have like a very strong connection with money. So if I spend money on something, I don't waste my money. So that was like my driving force, is like, I will not waste my investment. I'm investing in myself. I need to invest the time on myself. So that like forced me to do it, because if this was like a free course, I would have just given up. I would have been like, oh, I have nothing to lose. But because you're investing money in it, you for sure take it more seriously. Like, my money's on the line. I need to get my money's worth. That's how I always think. In a course, in anything I buy, in anything I invest in, I'm always like, how can I make my money back off this? So I hope that kind of helps you and kind of gives you my experience from a mediumship course. This can definitely apply to any course, but there's always a fear going into something that you don't know, or something that you're learning, or something that you're interested in. Like, some people were just interested in mediumship and just wanted to learn more. And then they had this community. So very cool. Very highly recommend. I believe she's doing it again. So if you are interested, go follow Danielle, the Squamish Medium. Again, this is not sponsored, but we're a community. Like, if I'm not offering something, I want you to go to someone who is offering something, and I've experienced it, so I would recommend it. And I also wanted to share that I have fears and I have reservations about doing mediumship. I've talked about this on the podcast a lot, but I couldn't even say the word medium for like the first few episodes of this podcast when I call myself the medium in the middle. Like, there's so many things that you have to work through. You don't just show up being confident AF, knowing the damn thing, doing it all the time perfectly. It's like, no, we need to work at these things. And I feel like I'm so confident with Reiki. Like, that's my jam. I'll do it in my sleep. But mediumship is just scary because it's so taboo. It's so different. And even though Reiki is not very mainstream, I can explain it easier, or people accept Reiki much more than they accept mediumship, but that's okay. We're here to open the minds of people, or just talk about it. You don't even have to be like, wow, I believe in mediumship now. But if you're just listening and you're like, huh, interesting, that's totally fine. I really do not care if people believe me or not. I was like, really, I don't know if I would believe me if it wasn't experienced by me. So it's fine. I don't take it personally. I think that's definitely something I hope others share. Nothing is personal. You don't need to force your beliefs on other people. You don't need other people to understand. I mean, there's so many things that people don't agree on that we don't all need to think the same way. And that's okay. When they're ready to maybe explore something different, they will. Okay, I'm rambling now, but I want to end this here. So that was my experience with the course. It started off rocky. I made it through. I definitely learned a lot. I practiced a lot. I'm nowhere near ready to offer mediumship sessions. I definitely think I'm just going to keep practicing with my clients who come and sneakily want a session. And I am doing a few events where I'm reading for a group, which is funny because I'm not worried about reading for groups, because I'm like, there's so many spirits here, it'll be easy. But when it's one-on-one and someone like has the intention to talk to dad, it's like, oh, well, like, what if dad doesn't come through? So I could talk about fear and insecurities for literally hours, but I will stop here. and just say that everyone is going through what you're going through. Everyone has the same fears. We all think the same ways. We're all always like, well, what about this? Well, what about this? And that's okay. You just have to do the damn thing. Just do it. Just sign up, challenge yourself, push yourself, hold yourself accountable. Hold yourself accountable. Like, you are the only one that's going to make yourself do it. If you want to do something, hold yourself accountable. Personal responsibility. Okay, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. My TED Talk's now over. I'm done ranting, but I hope you learned something from this episode. I hope you took something away from it. If you want to learn Reiki with me, I'm fully going to plug my course here. I'm doing a Reiki Level 1 online, September 26th and 27th. You can register on my website. All of my services, themediuminthemiddle.com. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Medium in the Middle. And I release new episodes next Tuesday. If you would like to subscribe, I will pop up in your library every Tuesday. If you haven't already, I would love and appreciate so much a rating and a review on iTunes. It really helps other people find the podcast, which helps the podcast grow, which helps me. And thank you to everyone who's already left a review. I literally read them all and they melt my heart. That's all for this week. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Have a wonderful week. Enjoy the sunshine. Enjoy summertime. And I will see you all next Tuesday. Goodbye, everyone.